Hello everyone and welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. On today's video, we're working on a left front foot. You can see she's got a deep ridge in this white line. That is likely where this problem is going to be. And that problem is going to be due to this rotation that you see on that inside claw. First things first though, let's get this foot trimmed up. So really the setup here whenever you have a medial corkscrew on a front foot is what's going to happen is that lateral claw is going to be deeper toward the outside of it. So when you watch me trim here, the lateral claw, I'm going to take more off toward that outside wall. And on this medial claw, you're going to have more growth or less wear toward the inner portions of this claw. So that's where I'm going to focus the trimming. And what that's going to do is then straighten that foot out. So that's what I'm taking off here now. I'm removing more toward the inside of this claw where the buildup is. Once I get that grinder out, you'll see that I'll take down that outside of the lateral claw. That's going to rebalance this foot. It's this out of balance situation that has allowed this crack to form on the inside. When those pressures are applied to that outside wall in the wrong spots, that's what creates these types of defects, which is ultimately what resulted in her lameness. It's a bit hard to see on the video exactly how much is being removed in each of these spots, but on that outside claw, along that outside wall, I probably lowered that roughly 3/8 of an inch. And on the middle part of that inner claw, that medial claw, about the same there, about 3/8 of an inch as well. And then if you look out toward the outside wall of that medial claw, that inside claw, you can still see I haven't even touched that with the grinder yet. I want that to remain at its highest point. Another thing to notice here is I'm trimming this inside wall right now on this medial claw. Now this is something on a normal foot you would never do. You don't want to thin these walls out on any normal foot because that's your structural support for the foot. That's the part that's bearing the weight, bringing that weight to the sole of the foot. But in this case, it's distorted from that corkscrew, so we got to get that straightened back up. Otherwise, if we leave it the way it is, it's creating leverage, and it's going to keep that corkscrew rotation continuing to happen. We want to get that so that axial wall is oriented straight up and down when she puts weight on it. Now we can move on to the spot in the white line that's compromised and that's causing her the discomfort. Now, if you're looking at this right now and thinking, there's not going to be much to this, boy, you're mistaken. You can see here as I move this foot, you can see that hoof horn moving. There's a whole area of separation up underneath here that I need to take away. Now I'm going to thin this down more than I normally would at this point in the trim because I know this is going to be very intricate when I start trimming on this. I'm going to be real close to that corium, so I want that hoof horn to be as thin as possible when I'm cutting. Here you can see that distorted white line and those tiny little cracks that allowed that bacteria to get up inside there. Now I need to be able to slide my knife up along those little cracks so I can lift that loose hoof horn away from the corium. So if this happens to be your first hoof trimming video, I would never be able to remove this horn right now if it wasn't already detached from the corium. And the whole purpose of removing this loose horn now is to allow this area that's been disturbed time to heal and keep this horn from abrading it. And so that's why we're removing that now. It speeds up the healing process for this particular claw. Now, if I didn't do this, would it heal? Yes, it would take much longer, and obviously there would be much more opportunity for bacteria to infect larger portions of this corium. So we're trying to speed this healing process up, and that's why we're working on them. Another common question I get is this process painful for the cow? Now, the lesions themselves, what we're treating, yes, those are painful, which is why we're intervening. However, the trimming process, removing this detached horn from this area, is not painful. It's much like us trimming our fingernails, right? That doesn't hurt. It's the same situation here. If I were to touch the corium or make her really uncomfortable, she will jerk that foot around, and you'll see her flinch every now and then when I'm working. You can tell you're getting to some sensitive areas, but if it was really painful, she'd be able to jerk her foot around and you'd really see it. They're not restrained that tightly in here. They can move their feet, and they do if you touch the wrong spots. Now, obviously, we don't want her to be walking on that injured claw, so yep, we're going to glue a block to that other claw. That's going to elevate that injured one off the ground and give it time to heal. As we zoom in here, you can see that area of disturbed corium, which is where this problem started and what caused this area of separation to happen in the first place. These little white areas along the edges, that's new soft hoof horn. I don't want to remove that. Now the only thing left to do is to clean this area really well with some antiseptic, put a wrap on that to protect it for the first few hours to allow that new soft hoof horn to harden up a little bit, and then she will be protected. In this case, I'm not going to use salicylic acid, and in this video actually my camera shut off and I didn't know it, so you don't get to see me wrap that foot, but you've seen that 100 times before. That's going to do it, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.